Have you ever tried to dye a disc yourself? Because we here at JustDisc have yet to give it a shot. Now, considering it's miserable outside and we can't play disc golf, we figured it was a great opportunity to try some disc golf dyeing for the first time. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We're gonna be dyeing 2 discs for you guys today, and we'll also tell you kind of what you need in case this is something you're looking to do at your own home. So let's get into it. For this disc golf dye, we're going to be using the shaving cream method since it's really the easiest and the cheapest method to begin starting to dye your disc for yourself. Now, to do the shaving cream method, here's what you'll need. The first thing you're going to need is a bottle of shaving cream. A basic foamy type is all you need. Dollar store stuff works very well. The next thing you'll need is obviously a disc to dye, and you want to stick to premium plastic type discs. So today I'll be dyeing the Star Teebird as well as this Star Wraith. Base plastics just don't hold the ink that well. Don't use them. Stick to the premium. Now the next thing are dyes, and the most common that I see, the most visually appealing and easiest to get is this Wraith DyeMore dye, and it's the synthetic type. That's what you need. Everybody says it so that it can latch onto the disc. So if you're gonna get this, get the synthetic type. I also took these bottles and kind of emptied them into an easier to dispense type bottle. This is really just used for cooking, but not something you necessarily need to do, but it does help with putting the dye onto the disc. The next thing you'll need is something to put your shaving cream dye and disc in so that it can dye but also avoid creating any kind of mess. Any kind of old Frisbee would work for this, or perhaps pie trays. I see a lot of people using these. Anything to just kind of keep it in there and allow it to dye for 24 hours. Now, there are a few other things you can use that will really help with the entire process. The first is just a paper towel or towel to wipe off any shaving cream or excess dye. Another thing is just some kind of skewer or coffee mixer to really help move the dye around to create some different designs if that's something you're interested in. Another thing to use would be gloves, just to protect your hands from the dye. Also, something to move around the shaving cream, something with a really flat end like a ruler works great. And lastly, water is also very useful to get the shaving cream to more of a milkshake consistency so that it dyes the disc in the best possible way. All right, so let's get started with the first disc. We're gonna start off with the Star Wraith, but one thing we forgot to mention is just make sure that your disc is nice and clean and also dry before you start this process. Get rid of any of that roughness, any kind of dirt. A magic eraser does work well, however, it will scratch off the emblem if that's something you're looking for, but it also helps with those pesky dirt spots. And I actually tried really hard on this spot, couldn't get it out. We'll see how it dyes. It's gonna be a good experiment, but just make sure your discs are nice and clean. All right, so here we go, starting off this process. Again, I have to mention I've never done this before, so there's gonna be some mistakes. There's gonna be some people probably yelling at the camera if they have some experience with it. But yeah, we'll try this out, see how it works. Wanna get a lot of the air bubbles kind of out of here. I could probably use a little bit of a better mixer. I'm gonna add some water, kind of see if that makes a difference. I heard adding water really helps create that consistency that you're kind of looking for. So as you can see, it's just a bit of a mess. It depends on how you do it. I obviously used something that I knew I didn't mind getting really dirty. It's actually quite finicky depending on how much of a perfectionist you want to be. Knowing myself, I'm a big perfectionist. I'm glad I don't do this for like a career, or this would be extremely hard. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. So for the Wraith dye, we're gonna just use 2 colors, the red and the blue, and I just thought of my own pattern, so let's get to work and see how it turns out. This might be a little harder than I thought. We'll see how it goes. Wow, that comes out way quicker than I expected. So I'm gonna change the pattern now, try the best that we can. Now we're gonna do some blue. Just kind of doing like a line across here. Definitely not going as well. This is so bad. Yeah, I'm definitely won't be a professional dyer anytime soon. Okay, so there we are. We added our ink. Now we're gonna use some of the skewers to just kind of change the design, kind of add some things to it. This is gonna be terrible. I'm glad you guys are along for this terrible ride of disc golf dyeing because I have no idea how this is gonna look. All right, I think we're about done. I think it looks pretty good. We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully this isn't a massive fail. Let's take this Wraith, let's put it on as flat and perfect as possible. First try. We're gonna see what happens. I've heard of some people saying you can push down on it. Some people say you don't have to, it's just gonna kind of sink. I'm just gonna push it down just a touch. Okay, so it's ready to go. We need to leave this for 24 hours, but for now, let's move on to the second disc, the Teebird. You seem to need quite a bit of it, to be honest. After you add the water, it kind of shrinks down, so use quite a bit. Don't be shy. Oh geez, it comes out so fast. Put the red, kind of spacing them out just a bit because they do spread a bit. Big tip for next time, as we've already realized, get something else, maybe like a little bit of a syringe, just to make putting it on the disc a little bit easier. Definitely not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. You need something better to put the ink down. Also, any imperfections or any kind of dips, the ink just fills those gaps. So not the greatest, but again, this is our first try. So let's take that Teebird and let's put her down. So we're gonna push it down. You see that ink? Maybe hold it. All right, we're done the disc golf dyeing process. We need to come back 24 hours from now. I'm really hoping that these disc golf dyes don't turn out as bad as I expect. But yeah, we're gonna clean things up a little bit. We'll wash it off, do the reveal, and you guys can let me know what you think. All right, guys, looks like the pies are just about done. It's been about 24 hours. Minimum is 12. Hopefully they turned out okay. Let's have a look. All right, so here we go. Having a look, see, ooh, we did those lines right. I'm hoping this looks cool. Oh man. Oh man. You know, it's not the greatest, but it's pretty cool for the first dye. I mean, I love these colors. Yeah, pretty sweet. I like it. I like it for the first dye. I'm really interested to see how the second one came out. So let's have a look. Oh man, this is gonna be wild. Oh my gosh. Ooh, this one. Okay. Okay. I may dye again. I did that little twist. It looks extremely amateuresque. That's what I'll say. I mean, kind of looks like one of those lollipops you got as a kid, right? So let's get these dried off and have a closer look. All right, well, let's sum up this first disc golf dyeing brought to you by JustDisc. After doing these two, we'd have to say that our favorite is the Star Wraith, the first attempt compared to the second, but we're really curious to know what you guys think. Which one do you prefer, the Star Wraith or the Star Teebird? Are you gonna try this at home? Are you gonna give this a shot yourself? Let us know in the comments below. Well, anyways, that sums up today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it in its entirety. And if you love quality disc golf content, you know exactly what to do. And if you're interested, join our list of growing patrons who enjoy exclusive disc golf content, but also helping support JustDisc. And while you're at it, why don't you move on to some of our other high quality videos? We'll see you in the next one. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.